Hello everyone, my name is Robert Monroe. I have my man Chris Britton behind the camera. We are with the DreamWorld Media Group, and tonight we have the pleasure of meeting with Limbo, fresh after her Atlanta set at the Masquerade. How are you doing, Limbo?
Feeling good. Feeling tired, but amazing. It's been a long day.
How do you feel about the way the show went tonight?
It went awesome. Everyone was had great energy and was dancing and singing, and we all kind of, like every band almost arrived late to the venue, but made it happen. So we were all kind of rushing, but the energy was high, and it was a great show. I'm gonna take this off.
It's fine. I feel like a lot of us fans of yours would agree that last year, after seeing you retire, the last thing we would expect to hear from you is that you're coming back on tour so suddenly. Can you kind of explain to us the events leading up to that, where you were at the point of you deciding to retire versus what went on during that period of time that led you wanting to come back to do the tour?
Yeah, so last year I was just experiencing like a lot of different things in my life, in my personal life, and it felt like one thing would happen and I'd get knocked down, and then another thing would happen and I'd get knocked down again, and it continued to happen until it got to a point where I got so low that I was just like, okay, I surrender, like I give up, you know? And I thought that putting the mask down would kind of like give me time and space to kind of like clear my head and focus on like things that would bring me happiness, but I was just so in this pit of darkness that like I could not get out of it. And I thought that retiring would, you know, help in some way. I tried everything in the book of like what could help, you know, and like if I take a break from my career, this will totally fix everything, but it just didn't, because this is the thing that like fuels my joy and like my life. And so this year, one of my friends, Donovan Melero, he's the head singer of Hail the Sun and a good friend of mine, and he reached out and invited me to go on this tour with him. And at first I said no. I just couldn't imagine doing it. And then a week later, I told him that I would do a few cities and a few dates. And then a week later, I just kind of convinced myself that this is like a good, positive thing to do. And so it kind of just re-sparked my energy and my love for music and like my passion for it. And it, you know, immediately got me back into writing and performing and like rehearsing and getting ready for this tour has been amazing. And I also, sorry, I keep talking, but I guess it is an interview. But I also met Gil West, who is playing bass with me, on this tour. We're backstage. And I met him in February, and he's an incredible bassist. He also kind of inspired me to bring him along and do this live show with him. And since then, we've just kind of been bouncing music ideas off each other and really getting to know each other musically and personally. And it's been a wonderful time all around for this tour.
A lot of people are coming on this tour to see Donovan. Can you kind of explain to those people how you two intertwined, how you met?
Yes, so Donnie and I met on a music video set probably like 6 or 7 years ago. And my friend was shooting the video, and they needed help with just hands on set and, you know, acting and stuff like that. And so I was really excited. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. So I was in the middle of these mountains down in LA, and it was snowy and dark, and I was the first one to show up, and it was this cabin in the woods, and I was terrified. But I was the first one to show up. No one else was there. And at first I was like, if no one comes within the first hour, I am leaving or else I'm going to get murdered. But anyway, so we were shooting a video for one of Donnie's songs for Hail the Sun, and we met there, and I got the chance to show him my music, and we connected over our sober living, and yeah, we connected over my music, and I showed him Airplane Mode, and that was when it was like first kind of fresh out there, and he loved it. And then we've just been friends ever since, and he kind of has traveled along with me on this journey. And yeah, so that's how we met. He's an incredible person and so humble and down to earth. And I really enjoy being on tour with him.
It goes to show you being such a genuine person and networking with every person that you meet, what opportunity it could bring you in the future. Because I'm sure when you two met on that set, you could have never thought this would have came
Yeah.
from that opportunity, being able to play alongside with him on one of his tours.
Yeah.
So you retire, and you realize that the passion for music is still there, and you have this opportunity to go on tour. What were some of the obstacles or drawbacks to just suddenly coming back and going on tour did you think you would face? And how do you think it has gone up to this point? Has it exceeded your expectation, or just how are you feeling up to this point halfway through your tour?
That's a good question. I think first getting back into it, I was mostly nervous about performing and my voice, and I really honed in on rehearsing and making sure that I was up to par and that I had, you know, a solid act, because I feel like in my past performances, I haven't really reached that momentum that I knew I was capable of, but now I feel that I'm reaching that peak, not the peak. I'm getting up there, but I really have just been practicing and grinding and trying my best to like make it a fun show for everyone involved, including the audience, and like finding ways to include them in the show and kind of make it a more personal experience. So that was like my main goal coming out here, but that was I guess a struggle was honing in on my voice and making sure that it was ready to sing every night while getting, you know, 4 hours of sleep and driving on the road for however long. So it's been really tough, but I'm learning a lot, and I think my voice is growing, and I'm drinking a lot of hot tea with a lot of honey, and
Gotta keep the pipes.
and a lot of Wild Wonder, my go-to drink.
You've seen that a lot on the Instagram stories.
Yeah, it's my new favorite drink, and they sponsored me for this tour, so I gotta give them a shout out for sure. Yeah.
Who are they?
It's called Wild Wonder, and it's a prebiotic, probiotic, yummy, sparkling, caffeine-free drink, and it's so
Zoom
delicious.
in on this.
Yeah. And yeah, they've just been awesome to me, so I want to throw their name out, But anyway, yeah, I think the hardest part about all of this is that I've made a lot of new friends this year back home, and the hardest part was leaving them, and thinking about them makes me cry. And of course, I miss my pets and my family, but other than that, it's been very smooth sailing, and it's almost halfway over, so I have no complaints, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it all continues to go as smoothly as it has.
I have to imagine all your friends and family at home, just knowing what you were doing, the courage it took to come back out of retirement, to go on this tour. They must be so incredibly proud of you and everything you're doing, the work you've put in. Seeing you perform tonight, you would not have ever guessed that you would retire from music. The amount of passion you sang with, the environment and the atmosphere that you were able to create, and just the way the fans responded to you. It would almost feel like you never disappeared, you never stopped. Like it felt like every fan has still been with you this whole time. I mean, that must feel very heartwarming to you, just knowing that you were able to take this hiatus, focus on your mental state, but still come back and just have this welcoming reception.
Totally. Yeah, it's been overwhelming, really, like seeing the people come out and buying so much merch. Like, we had to order more merch halfway through because it's just going like freaking hotcakes, which is the best problem to have as an artist, but I didn't expect it to be this good, really. And I was very pleasantly surprised and very humbled and honored that people are still with me and still want to come out and still, you know, dance and sing and have a good time. So it's been awesome.
Throughout your whole career, I don't think you've been shy to talk about how much your fans mean to you. Without them, you know, you wouldn't be where you are. And it's just been so heartwarming to show that it's a real passion, or it really means something deep to you, to make sure anyone that either travels or just buys a ticket to your show, like, they know that they're appreciated and that they're a very crucial part of your career. Because I imagine a large part of what made you want to come back was the fans themselves, just all the people that have supported you along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, even doing this tour, it's like mostly like 99% for the people who come, and like probably 1% for my own satisfaction, if that makes any sense at all. I love performing and I love touring, but I like to make the real connection, just because that's, I think, what's most important about creating music and art in general, is like making that human connection, because I feel like most of the time music is like what touches people's souls. And, you know, I've had so many DMs and messages about my music helping people, or, getting them through hard times. And I feel like just messages and DMs on your cell phone can only do so much, to where like the disconnect is still there. And so bringing it to real life where you can like really hug them and like talk to them and I say thank you for supporting me, and they thank me for supporting them, and it's like so mutual and comforting and cathartic, like doing that and being able to say thank you and have that exchange like in real life is like what's really important to me, and making sure that they know how grateful I am for like their support and just them being them.
I don't want to give any spoilers away or insider information away, but tonight I was overhearing you talking to a fan, and you mentioned a next tour. And for a lot of fans, you coming out of retirement was a big shock, and for you to already be talking about a next tour, and you're showing on your Instagram stories that you're producing music while on the drives between locations, should we expect to see more of you in the future?
Yes. This has kind of really like re-sparked my love and like passion for it all, and I think I subconsciously really needed that break, even if it felt like I was missing out on something. Like I think my brain just really needed a good year-ish to just not worry about social media, not worry about posting all the time, not worry about keeping up with distribution and releasing and album art and merch and everything. I just really, I think, needed that, but I feel so rejuvenated now and inspired, and I've been writing a few songs, and my plans are big for next year. That's all I'm gonna say.
The year of 2023 or 2022?
2022 might have some good stuff at the end of it, but I think 2023 is gonna be where the real magic happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tonight you gave a shout out before one of your songs to all the females that do have a lot of things on there that doesn't get often appreciated. In your case, you mentioned that you produce, you sing, you run the merch table. You said you basically do so much on your own, and I feel like a lot of women don't get appreciated for doing the same amount of work. Would you like to elaborate on that any further?
Yeah, sure. I like to give a shout out to all the women who do their own thing, and no matter what industry it is, it's just kind of important, I think, to empower women, and being as vocal as we possibly can about it is really important and crucial to building each other up. And it's hard being a woman, and sometimes we really need that support from each other. And I just like to give a shout out and make sure that they know that they are powerful and they are worthy.
Limbo, first of all, me and Chris would both like to say thank you for taking the time to meet with us, especially after an amazing show tonight. We know you're very busy with your tour. You have a show tomorrow night in North Carolina. Is there a message you would like to give to your fans that are listening to this right now?
People at home, I want to say thank you for supporting me and continue to support me even after the year of silence. And sorry I kind of pulled a psych on you guys by coming back so quickly. It wasn't my plan to come back this quickly. I definitely wanted to eventually, but I wanted to take my time with it. But I am very happy that I'm back. But it may be a bit different this time. I'm definitely going to focus on preserving my mental space and organizing my thoughts more and gaining a team to help with different things. So if I don't reply as quick to DMs, or if I take some time to, make certain moves, that is why. I definitely need to preserve my mental health. And to those who have come out to the shows and plan to come to the rest of the shows, I want to say thank you so much. You have made this entire experience worth it and pleasurable and just memorable and amazing and incredible. And I'm so grateful that you have come out and supported, and that I have been able to hug you guys and shake your hands and sign your stuff. And it's been awesome. So thank you, all of you. And thank you guys for being so awesome and being my friend. And I'm so happy that we got to meet last year on the internet and meet IRL tonight.
We can't thank you enough for taking the time once again to sit down and do this with us. Me, Chris, everyone at home, once again, we wanted to thank you for just being the type of person you are, for putting the amount of effort and energy that you do into what you do. I mean, everyone at home appreciates it. We want to thank you again for coming back and putting on this spectacular show for all your fans. And just we're we're so unbelievably excited to see what you do in the future, and I'm sure everyone is happy to have you back. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. I love y'all.
All right, thank you everyone for checking in to the DreamWorld Media Group interview with Limbo. Good luck the rest of the way on your tour, and we can't wait to see, like I said, what you do next.